Miss Emily Farmer. Emily is the daughter of Heather and Steve Farmer. Blessings continue to abound as we've had Emily as a Berean Lifetimer as well. Emily has been a member of the National Honor Society, where she has served as treasurer and this year as president. She has played volleyball for 4 years and served as co-captain since her sophomore year. Emily received the ACSI Distinguished Student Award for Christian Service as a junior and a senior. She was also recognized this year as a New Sentinel Academic Achiever. Outside of school, she works at Chick-fil-A, where her happy to serve you is no different than what we see in her on a daily basis. She loves church and singing and all things African. Emily plans to attend Johnson University in the fall and study to become an elementary teacher. She leaves Berean with a GPA of 4.152. It's my privilege to call our 2015 valedictorian to the platform, Miss Emily Farmer.
Good evening, everyone. It truly is a good evening. Though we questioned at times, we all made it. But I have a couple of matters of business I need to take care of before I go any further. Dad, can you look at me for a minute? Sorry I'm not talented enough to sign and speak at the same time, but I hope you still enjoy it. Class of 2015, can I take one last selfie with you? All right. All kidding aside, I am truly humbled and very nervous to be able to share part of my heart with you. To begin, I'd like to share a quote. It may take place in a foreign land, or it may take place in your backyard, but I believe that we were each created to change the world for someone, to love someone, to serve someone the way Christ served us, to spread his light. This is the dream, and it is possible. This quote comes from Katie Davis, a woman I consider to be a hero. She's a recently married 27-year-old with 13 daughters. She adopted her girls in Uganda, where she moved at the young age of 18. Since then, she's begun an educational and missional outreach for the children there. Did her friends and family think she was crazy for this? Sure. Did she trust in God's plan for her? Absolutely. Is she a servant whose love changed someone's world? No doubt. Within a matter of moments, we're going to be graduates of Berean Christian School. That leaves us with a question. Where do we go from here? In our lives thus far, we've had ample opportunities to serve, thanks to Berean. We have studied Jesus' selfless love, and we've learned how to live that out. From serving at food pantries to wiping snotty noses, our serving experience has been broad. But how do we continue in that? Let us look to the servant of all servants, the one who humbled himself to be born in a nasty stable, the sinless one who became sin that we might be with him in harmony, the one who healed, who taught, who loved sacrificially that we may truly know love. The one whose service went so far as to willingly wash his betrayer's feet, though washing feet was the lowliest of tasks. The one whose name is Jesus. We need to model that service, but will we? What if it doesn't feel good? What if it's dirty? What if you benefit no financial gain? What if God changes your plans? What if it's something you said you would never do? Will you serve someone? Will you love someone? We must remember that our greatest acts of service come from a heart of love. As we go out from Berean, we are faced with two choices. We can continue in service as we love one another, or we can attain the freedom that we all want and focus solely on ourselves. I challenge you to remember him who always had a heart of love, who said through the Apostle Paul, "For you were called to freedom, brothers. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another." Though we have spiritual freedom in Christ and we will attain more freedoms as young adults, Let us not squander it on ourselves. The time I most remember being served was the first time I traveled to Uganda. We went to work in a refugee camp where these people had fled from famine and disease and persecution. When I got there, I expected to and I wanted to serve these people. We walked into a mud building with a rusty tin roof and red dirt floors. These people rose from sitting on the ground to greet us, and one by one pulled out white plastic chairs for my team and me to sit in. I was immediately brought to tears as I realized this is what loving service is about. They thought of me before themselves. They met my needs and desires, putting theirs behind them. And the craziest part is, this is what Jesus did for us. He chose to save our lives over his own, and he put our needs and desires before his, that we may be in heaven with the Father. What service, what love. In closing, and contrary to most inspirational speeches, I want to encourage you in this. You don't have to change the world. That's right, I said it. Rather, we are to commit to serve someone, to love someone, and by doing this, we change their world. I think Katie Davis said it best when she said this: I have learned that I will not change the world. Jesus will do that. I can, however, change the world for one person. I can change the world for 14 little girls, and for 400 school children, and for a sick and dying grandmother, and for a malnourished, neglected, abused 5-year-old. And if one person sees the love of Christ in me, it is worth every minute. In fact, it is worth spending my life for.